Ladies and gentlemen, welcome this superstar to this very special show of ours. First of all, hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sriram Sullia. I host the superhero show in Fever 104 FM, Bangalore. This is a very special broadcast of 100 hours, 100 stars, a non stop tribute to COVID warriors. And joining us as part of this cause is none other than a superstar from the Indian women's cricket team. She's a batsman. She can bowl some killer leg breaks. We know she's an overall fun person because she's always found dancing around. Veda Krishnamurthy, thank you so much. Bengaluru Hudugi, welcome to 100 hours, 100 stars.
Thanks, Sriram. It's pleasure to be here. I'm pretty much excited to see how it goes.
Well, this is a non-stop tribute that's happening. So for 100 hours, we have some of the biggest names joining in all together, just like you who have joined in, Veda Krishnamurthy. For everyone who's watching this broadcast, I'd like to tell you that you'll find a scanner that you can scan, the QR scanner, the QR code that's up there. Just scan it and make sure your generosity is felt towards the PM Cares Fund. You can contribute directly. Veda, welcome once again. It's a pleasure, it's a privilege to have you here. How are you, first of all? How are you dealing with the lockdown? How are things at your end?
Well, I'm having good time actually because last 2 years has been like very difficult for us. We've been on the road with a lot of camps and matches, so I've never stayed at home this long. So I think that is one good thing that I'm able to spend time at home, eat home cooked food.
Yeah.
So otherwise, it's always eating outside, and to do what I want to do basically. Like, basic first thing, there's no alarms. That's like the best part. Wake up whenever you want to wake up, and there's certain things which I like to tick off, like do my workouts and stuff like that. So there's no particular time that I want to do it at. I have to do it at this time. Like usually earlier with camps and things like that. So we have like our life is pretty much like a timetable. You wake up at this hour, you finish your session, and then you do this. So there's no timetable as such. So all I know is in a span of 24 hours, I have to finish this. So slowly I, make up my mind. I was like, okay, I have to do this like probably for an hour or 1 hour and a half. So I do that. I finish with that. I call up my friends, catch up with them. The ones which I never gave time, they always complain that, once you're in tournament, you never speak to us. So call them up, talk to them for hours. And obviously I have my nieces at home. So they've been behind my life to bake some cakes and cookies for them, which I learned very recently. Not that I'm an expert in it. So I've been doing that. So pretty much time just gets consumed. Whatever in all these things, what I do.
Right. So it's a much required downtime for someone like you, busy person, picked up by the Hobart Hurricanes as well. You are always up and about on the go. So you're using this time wisely. Bengaluru Hudugi, for everyone who is locking on right now, Veda Krishnamurthy nam jote gidare. Veda, talk to me about practice per se. Of course, you get to wake up at your own sweet time, but because you represent the Indian national team, I'm sure psychologically you must be going through. Fitness is a very important aspect of your life, and you can't let that pass. The kind of intake that you do as well. Are you being conscious?
Yeah, I'm being very conscious. I keep telling I live with my brother and sister-in-law here, and I keep telling my sister-in-law, like, no, yeah, not today. I can't eat this. I've eaten already in the afternoon. Like, give me something lighter option in the evening. So I am trying to make an effort, but at the same time, with it's not as impactful as it would be in my normal life, because even if you have to do any fitness, even if you're doing at home, I don't think so it is making that much of an effect what if you usually have. Probably see, running is completely out of the question now. I can't run. Nor I have a terrace where I can, go and do anything. The terrace, there's a house there where people are living, so I can't go and intrude someone else's personal space. So it's very limited to what I can do. Um, Somewhere down the line, I feel that it's not going to be that effective, but it's like at least doing something so that I am not guilty about sitting at home. And to an extent, I mean, today only I was sending a message to someone. I feel like that I've forgotten how to play cricket. I don't remember how to bat anymore. But yeah, I mean, see, this is something which is really important that all of us have to follow and stay at home. Um, it's very very critical for all of us to follow this. So I think we are doing our part, and as it goes about fitness or cricket, I think it's just matter of 1 or 2 months where everybody will be back to their peak. And once we get into it regularly, and we've been playing for so long, so though I feel that I've forgotten how to bat, the minute I hold a bat, I'm sure I'll know how to bat. So
Absolutely.
I'm not worried about it as such.
Yeah, but I understand where you're coming from. I mean, for somebody who is used to waking up at a certain time, going to a big green cricket field, taking
Yeah.
laps, doing fitness, sweating it out, all of a sudden confined at home and workout just feels like, okay, you're doing it for the sake of it, पर मजा नहीं आएगा, like the way you genuinely sweat it out and you feel, I've had a fruitful day working out. And I totally relate to what you're talking about.
No, because we have this thing like in our team in our Indian team. Uh, Usually whenever someone's going for a gym session, we don't really say ना हम gym करने जा रहे हैं. It's always like ना हम gym तोड़ने जा रहे हैं. So that is the kind of phrase which everybody uses in the gym. I said gym तोड़ के आ गए, gym तोड़ने जा रही हूँ. So like you can connect to it, so that is how it feels when we are going to the gym, that literally you're going to break it. So obviously like at home you can't do it, so
Correct.
that is one thing which is always there.
Lovely. Guys, those of you watching this broadcast, once again, just like to remind you that you have the QR code scanner. Feel free to scan it and you can make sure that the contributions are going to the PM Care funds. And this way you can be part of the bigger cause that is of 100 hours, 100 stars. Now, Veda, let's get into deeper conversations about you and your love for cricket. How did it all start? Of course, the Indian women's cricket team is something that we all look up to so very much. But how did your love affair with cricket start? We hear that you were a karate superstar when you were a kid growing up. But
Yeah.
how did the transition happen to cricket? The same was with me as well, karate. But then somehow the transition kind of didn't really pick up. That's why I am where I am, and you are where you are. But talk to me about your affair with cricket.
No, actually, see, I mean, I'm the youngest at home. I've got two elder sister and a elder brother, and the difference of age between me and my like second sister is 9 years. So basically, they've like all grown up when I was born, and I was taking care like their own kids. So my brother was already 14 when I was born, and he had his bunch of friends who used to play cricket. And my dad was like, okay, now since he was satisfied with all the other kids, what they're doing, one was into studying, one was into dancing and all of that. He is like, he just let me play all the sports, whatever I like. So starting from school, I used to participate in everything, and I used to like, they used to have like break hours in school where I used to play cricket with the boys, even with those uniform. So it is something which got carried forward, and the classmates I had were my neighbors as well. So we used to come back, and they used to go and play cricket again, and I used to join them and play. So that is something which started, and I had seen my brother do it every time he had time. So I saw him play. He used to take me along with him when he used to play with his friends. And slowly and gradually, when I was like 7 and 8, is when he started to put me in his team like a joker. So I
Yeah.
used to just play as a joker in with them. And then I used to come back and play with my age group. So basically, like from the time I was three only is where they'd given me a plastic bat and I used to just chuck ball at me and I used to just hit around. So that is something which was like a routine for me every day. So from there, since I was into karate and all of that, so I was basically physically fit and agile and all of that. So one day I just decided that I want to play cricket, and that was the time where India had played finals in the 2005 World Cup. That was all around in the news. Women also play cricket. I always thought it's a game where all the boys play. So when I saw that thing and I went to my dad and it's like, oh, the women play cricket. They've come second in the World Cup. I also want to play and all of that. The next day, he actually told me, like, look for a place where they train for girls, I'll take you. He was pretty confident, I think, that, there won't be any place as such. And I used to sit and watch in the newspaper every day. They used to put that ad, little ads everywhere. So I used to open and see. Like, for continuously, I think for a week or 10 days, I've only saw, like, okay, cricket coaching for boys aged 6 to 18 or 6 to 19, like that. And one day I saw like boys and girls. And I was like pretty excited. I was like, this is something new. I haven't read this. Then I showed it to my dad. He called them up to confirm whether it's true or just printing mistake. And then then said, yeah, we do train girls. There are a lot of girls who come as well. And then next day we came to Bangalore, and then just my journey started with cricket.
Wow, fantastic story. And I must say, the support a family plays is really commendable. And we see that with how it's transpired you and really made things happen for you. Also, being the youngest one, I think you're the most pampered lot.
Yeah, being the youngest, I'm pampered and I get my things done also, I guess.
And also, thanks for refreshing my memory by saying Joker. All these are very gully cricket terms. Atakuntu
Yeah,
Lekka Killa,
yeah,
Joker, and
exactly.
all
Yeah.
these other terms. Fantastic. Veda, what an amazing journey from how it started to where you are right now. Let's talk a little bit about you wearing the Indian colors and doing your debut against England. And you scored an amazing 51 runs in that match.
Yeah.
What do you recollect? It must have been amazing, like nerves of steel. You were where you wanted to be.
Well, like even before we left, I was in England. We were playing a quadrangular series against England, Australia, and New Zealand. So there were like big countries to play, and there's like top four countries playing a tournament. And obviously, we were underdogs when we went there. So um, like even before that we had a camp for a month, and Julian was the captain then, and I must give it to her because the amount of confidence she gave me, uh, it was like pretty much decided, and the role was given from day one of the camp started, and she told me that I'll be batting five. This is going to be your role. And for someone who's going to make a debut and making things very clear to me up front and making sure that I practiced the same way throughout the camp, and going there, making me play ahead of the seniors who were already there. Just that was the first series I got selected, and straight away I was in the 11, and giving that opportunity and having that faith that I'll be able to deliver. And I was sitting and I was waiting for my batting to come. I still remember Harman and Poonam were batting, and they had a long partnership. So I was sitting next to Mithali, and I remember sitting next to Mithali trying to ask questions like what to do and stuff like that. And one man, I don't exactly remember who got it, but there was sense of confidence, everybody believed that, I'm capable of doing it. And when I went and played, the first run I scored was of a boundary. And I think that's when the nerve settled. And I mean, going from there, it was like I was just trying to be present in that situation. And when I got the the 50, I was like really, really happy. And I couldn't believe because England had a very good bowling attack with Brunt, Isha Guha, Holly Colvin, Laura Marsh. So these were like big names then, and 18-year-old going and getting 50 and 51 of just 50 odd balls. It was not even like I, had enough time to sit and think of what was happening. I think that kind of just being in the present and just doing well. And then when I got my 50, I remember the entire dressing room standing up and applauding the thing. I think that visual is still, still in my eyes. And it was in Derby, and that was where we played the World Cup also in 2017, where I got my 75 against New Zealand. So that ground, I remember that ground pretty much. Like I still close my eyes and I know how the ground looks. So it was
Wow.
pretty surreal.
Amazing, amazing. Let's talk a little bit about present day context. Of course, the recent World Cup that happened, it was just heartbreaking. We were looking so good. We were favorites to win. And we
Yeah,
had already beaten Australia, and
yeah.
all of you were roaring. It was looking like the World Cup is going to be ours. But of course, things changed. Must be tremendous pressure, and it must not be easy to face realities with such a defeat when you are in such good form overall as a team.
Uh, yeah, actually, like to be honest, we had a very good World Cup. Nobody expected us to play the finals. And I think overall it shows the character of the team that every challenge thrown at us, we did really well. And on the finals day, it was just not our day. You can say that because so far we were the best bowling side, we were the best fielding side. We took all the catches, and we made sure that we were in it. But I think the the point was when we dropped Healy beginning at the beginning, probably I think it was the first or the third over, and dropped Moni as well in the power play. It kind of put us on a back foot. And Australia being such a world class team, you actually cannot give them opportunities. And then try to drop them. Then they're too good a players to drop them, and they actually made us pay for that. I mean, it's like had those catch been taken, things would have looked different. So there are a lot of ifs and buts to sit and say. But for me, as a cricketer, as a teammate who was there, so I mean I know how it feels, but it was just not our day. Probably, the next World Cup will make sure that we take those crunch catches and be there in the present, and not get overwhelmed with things happening all around us. Making sure that we give our to win the cup.
Well, no matter what, win or lose, you'll always have our support, and you girls continue rocking, continue doing what you do best, which is play some amazing cricket. You'll always find plenty of people cheering for you, and it was amazing to see how, no matter which part of the world you're in, there are so many Indian supporters who are just there backing you up no matter what. You can always expect that no matter where you're playing. It
Yeah.
must be an amazing feeling to wear that Indian jersey, Allah, that those blues. And talk to me about how it makes you feel to be in the Indian jersey.
Well, it gives a lot of pride that you have a jersey that you wear and you go on the field. You know that a lot of people are expecting a lot of good things out of you, and it is also a responsibility that since I'm putting that jersey on and going, I know what my responsibilities are. I know what I have to do, and to actually make sure that. I perform according to that is where you sit back, and when you're having your practice session is where that is the motivation where you get to put in extra yard and say like, no, you are representing India. You have to make sure you're at your best, so you cannot take that lightly. So it's a sense of pride that every time you wear that jersey and you walk on the field.
Which is amazing. Are you in touch with the rest of the players? What are everybody up to? Is Mithali reading a book? What's Shefali up to? What's going on?
Well, I mean, I haven't spoken to anybody as such over a phone call or anything. I've just spoken to a couple of them because it was their birthday. Just called up to wish them. Otherwise, I'm just following them on social media. What they're doing is just a little cheeky banter on social media. Just throw in a comment here and there, or just send something funny, and just those kind of conversation which is happening. And that is how exactly we are as the Indian team. We actually are very cheeky with each other. We don't really think what that other person would think. It's just throw in something which comes in your head and have a conversation around it. uh, those are the things which I've been doing lately. Haven't really caught up with anybody as such.
Right. We
um,
see your social media
Probably should do
updates.
that, I think,
We
soon.
see your super fun social media updates and all the dancing that keeps happening. We'll come to
Yeah.
that just a little bit. But the camaraderie is so transparent. It's so visible when you girls get together and have a good time on the field playing cricket. Um, Before we do a quick round of rapid fire, which is coming at you, I want to talk to
Okay.
you a little bit about how technology has played a huge role in the world of cricket from the way it was to what it is now. As a viewer, it's an interruption, I feel, when somebody is declared out and then there is a possibility that this person may not be out. Sometimes you
Yeah.
feel umpires being in such funny positions,
Yeah.
out kottidare, but then the player can almost retaliate and say, I challenge your decision. I was speaking
Yeah.
to Simon Toffel the other day, and he was saying it's not easy at all when the crowd, the players, everyone is challenging an umpire's decision, and on the big screen, the decision is being dissected. Everyone can see whether it's the right
Yeah.
decision or not. As a player, what do you think, Veda? Should sometimes old school is better, Ansata, or is it good to have
Well,
all this technology?
see, there's perks and cons of it. I mean, I'll talk like a typical player. If I'm batting and I've given not out, and that person takes a review and given out, I'll say, oh, this review system is shit. It shouldn't be there. But if I'm fielding and we know that the person is out and the umpire gives not out and we challenge them and we get it right, we're like, yeah, we got it right and all of that. So it's like playing with the emotions of a player also, which happened recently also with me in the World Cup. This World Cup where. Uh, I mean, I played a shot and the umpire gave not out, and I was just hoping, like, no, don't review. I knew I was out. It's like, don't review, and then they took a review. I was like, shit. I know I'm out now. I'm just walking out. So had they taken the review before that, or if the review was not there, I wouldn't have been out. So it's like a mixed emotion for a player, and as a player, you get very selfish. Nobody wants to get out. So there's pros and cons like for it, but end of the day, it is about being fair and having that thing. So I really don't mind having a review system because it's gonna be good for you. It's gonna be bad for you also at the same time. But um, most of the time, there are chances where entire game might get flipped, or the result of the game might change completely because of that. So I think
Yeah.
on that prospect, like not as a individual, as an individual, very selfish. But on a team perspective, when certain decision can change a win or a lose thing for a team, I think to have the technology is really great. At
Yeah.
least you're fair and square. You know that you've done well or you've lost it or whatever it is.
Correct. It is accurate. The human
Yeah,
error element is being taken out, so it is
yeah,
going to be just. And you're right. The outcomes of games could change. Uh,
yeah.
the game is evolving, and there's so much of use of technology. So it's likely that it is inserted into cricket as well. For everyone who's joining in, superstar Veda Krishnamurthy is on 100 hours, 100 stars. You'll find the Paytm scanner code, the QR code there. Make sure you scan and contribute directly to PM Cares Fund. As we continue this chat right now, it's time for a quick round of rapid fire. Veda, all the very best. You're going to face these deliveries from me. Make sure you're quick and swift with this. First question is, I want to badly do dash once the lockdown is over.
I want to go out.
Just breathe some fresh air.
Just go out. Yeah. Without any restrictions or without any barricades. Just go out. Wherever
party or like a food place,
I'm not a party person, actually, to be honest. I really don't like going to parties. I feel very claustrophobic going to parties. I'd rather sit at home with my selected friends and then just chill with them. That was more me. But yeah, I mean, I don't mind going to food places. I mean, I love Bangalore for the fact that there's so many breakfast options. I love going out for breakfast in Bangalore, so I think I don't mind doing that.
Right. Shout out to Akanksha as well, Akanksha Kohli. I think the last time we met, it was at an improv show. It's been long. Even I'm dying to just step out, and hopefully life gets back to normal soon. Biryani or pizza?
Biryani, any day.
Biryani. Okay. Your favorite cricketer, if there is one?
Well, I like a lot of cricketers. There's nothing like favorite. I don't sit and follow anybody. I'm someone I actually tell people that I don't love cricket that much. I'm not a cricket person, but internally, people who know me, that if there's any game coming, I sit and watch, regardless of what it is. It's not just international games. Even when the state games are happening, I sit and watch. I'm a big fan of our Karnataka boys. I sit and watch them play also. So there's nothing as favorite cricketer, but I sit and watch a lot of cricket.
Right. Recently, it was Paji Sachin Tendulkar's birthday, and we saw you put up a post, like a fangirl. How cute was that? Like you standing with him and a quick little tweet, an Insta post.
I mean, that was a couple of years back when we took a picture. He wanted to speak to us before we left to South Africa for our series, and everybody were eager and sitting in the room in Mumbai. We were in BKC waiting for him to come, and I mean, all of us were excited because apart from a couple of them, nobody had met Sachin as such, like to have an interaction or things like that. Obviously, we'd seen him, but we've never had like an interaction or anything. And as in when he walked in, it felt so surreal because you didn't know what to say, and we're all sitting quietly like school kids and sitting and listening to him talk and give us tips about how to play in South Africa, because we were going for the first time. Everybody were going to South Africa for the first time, and to actually I mean, he was talking about conditions and how you have to play, things like that, and everybody were taking turns to click a picture, and I was actually the photographer. I was clicking everybody's picture, and they looked at me and like, you. I was like, yeah, of course I'm coming. And then I stood there. And I don't know why I had that smile. It just came naturally. I think it was more candid than trying to pose.
God of cricket for a reason, Sachin Tendulkar.
Yes, it's
always when you meet the man. Speaking of pictures, who's the selfie queen of the Indian cricket team?
Everybody clicks selfies, yeah. All of them are into selfies. They'll be sitting in the bus and they'll be clicking selfies. I think I'd say Tanya.
Tanya is a little more than the rest.
Yeah, she comes up with very weird angles. I mean, she sits right in front of me in the bus. So, I mean, more than anybody else, I can actually see what she's doing with her phone. And she has that weird angles when it comes to selfies.
All right, let's talk a little bit about movies. Ranbir Kapoor, Vicky Kaushal. Pick one.
Ranveer Singh.
Ranveer Singh. Nice. More fun, way more chilled out, and
Yeah, I
he
think
speaks his heart.
I'm someone very similar to him when it comes to behaving and having that characteristics. I'm completely crazy when I'm around people.
Celebrity
I just kind of
crush.
relate.
Veda, if there is a
Ranveer
celebrity
Singh.
crush, Ranveer Singh,
Ranveer Singh. Yeah.
have you had the opportunity to meet him though? Ever?
No, I have been so unfortunate. I haven't met him as yet. I
Right.
hope so. I meet him sometime soon. I think I'll just go crazy as him, and I probably will be dancing for Kali Bali together.
um, Interestingly, on Google, if you go and type Veda Krishnamurthy, there is a question that pops up a whole lot saying, is Veda
Mhm.
Krishnamurthy single?
Yes, very much single. Why
and,
are you laughing?
and that's
Is
all
that a
you want to say?
joke?
Is that's all you want to say?
Yeah, I'm single. Like I'm not finding anybody. Actually, to be honest, it's a very sad position to be in.
Well, enjoy your life to the fullest. And it's always a pleasure. It's always so much fun connecting with you. And I'd like to wish you the very best for the future cricket seasons to come. You girls have played exceptional cricket, and you've taken the game to another level altogether. The amount of interest the entire nation has towards women's cricket is because of personalities. It's because of characters like you who don't just play cricket but who are outspoken. You are very vocal. You are such fun personalities to be around with. And I'd want to say just congratulations on all the achievements unlocked till now and the future, all the future prospects and opportunities that are to come as well. Veda, thanks so much
Thank
for
you.
spending time with us. Of course,
Thank you,
you're such
Sriram.
a dancing queen on Instagram, on social media, out on the field as well. How about a little something right now? Can you teach me a simple dance step if that's possible?
No, we can do that recent thing what I did on social media. Very easy it is. I
Okay,
think
okay.
wait, let me I have to place this phone somewhere.
Yeah, yeah. Even I'm going to stand up.
Yeah, I think this is fine. So you
Uh-huh.
must have seen that thing where you go when everybody is doing that.
Yes,
So you
yes.
can do that, okay?
Uh-huh.
Da, 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 da.
That
Not
works.
bad, not bad.
Dude, you
Got
are
some
killer.
moves.
I've actually got two left feet, but on digital front, when we are doing a Skype interview like this, I think I can manage all right. But Ida, keep dancing, keep rocking, and look forward to catching up with you soon. Da. Take care,
Thank
Macha,
you.
and
Thank you.
have
See you.
an
Bye bye.
amazing time. See you. Bye.
See you,
Bye.
Sriram. Thank you so much. Bye.